Ever since I watched the film The Father, directed by or screenplayed by Florian Zeller, I was impressed, and I'd like to know more about him. This particular playwright from France wrote this particular play called Father, and I really was struck by his psychological, I think, complexity of human life depiction. I think I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. So when I found the this other film, The Son is a 2022. The Father is a 2020 film, and Father also like a 2015. I think became a Broadway hit, starring Frank Rangeras playing the Father. And I vaguely remember, I saw the clips of the Father play in Broadway at the Tony Awards show or something, and so I remember that. And so when I found this particular film, The Son, 2022 made, starring Hugh Jackman and Laura Dern. Wow, I have to see that, of course. He had like a trilogy, The Father and the Son and the Mother. The three plays he made. I think in France it was very, very highly acclaimed play, and he was very popular playwright at the time. And so of course I have to see the movie called The Son. The Son, evidently, I think Hugh Jackman read the play, and as he is very confident and very, very the wanting to play this particular role, and so he approached Florian Zeller to make a film, and he thought it was a good idea. The director Zeller thought it was a good idea to make a film, and probably he thought that was Hugh Jackman is ideal type, and Laura Dern as a mother is ideal mother. And it's about the story of the son, who is a teenager, probably about 15, 16 years old, and he has this mental illness, and so he the son stopped going to school and wouldn't tell parents anything. By the time that the son was like 15 or 16, they are divorced, and Hugh Jackman was married with a new beautiful wife and having a baby. So it was a very happy, successful person in there. And Hugh Jackman has also a father who was very, very successful, I think, political figure in Washington, D.C. They reside in New York City. So when he had this problem with his son, he visited the father in Washington, D.C. and trying to probably figure out what the father and the son relationship is, because he kind of grew up with this very authoritative figure of his father, and probably he struggled, but he kind of succeeded in going through that, and because he tried very hard to conquer the difficulty and trying to get his life established, and so in that scenario he visits this father who is played by Anthony Hopkins, none the other, Anthony Hopkins. But the first moment that he opened the door of his gorgeous house in Washington, D.C., his father, Anthony Hopkins' attitude was a very kind of sarcastic and cold. And that tells you something, that their relationship. Hugh Jackman as a son and father, Anthony Hopkins as a father, you may immediately in that particular brief scene, that particular relationship was something skewed, something you desired otherwise. I think Hugh Jackman as a son felt all along in that way. Probably he wanted to have more loving relationship with his father, and so probably he decided for his son, he wants to give him more love, more affection, but he is probably struggling because he's unable to do so, because he doesn't understand the son's mental illness, and he always felt that he could kind of correct the particular condition of his son to become a normal, healthy person. And so he was trying, especially loving and trying to guide him somewhere a better situation, suggesting here and there all kinds of things that he went through with his father. And he kind of found out his own solution, and he got through those difficulties. But man has more or less like probably had the inability to love his own son, and the inability to keep the peace, keep the relationship intact. I think all the tragedy probably are written. The play, especially play, is very, very strong piece, but probably is psychological, strong piece by Zeller. And I think it's very difficult to transfer to the movie screen, because I understand that when you see the movie, if you don't know or if you don't get the why Zeller wrote this particular play, you kind of struggle to enjoy this particular play, because it's kind of uncomfortable to watch this particular movie, because it's a tragedy. And you criticize probably the father's attitude and the son's attitude, or family attitude, or mother's attitude. You ended up with criticizing all this family attitude toward other family members. And in that sense, I think probably the movie is not as successful as play. When you see the play, I have never seen the play, I never read the play, but I could see the material of depicted in this film is the play material is very strong psychological drama and a very strong love relationship and the man's inability to deal with this mental illness afflicted son. And the particular notion is, I think it's a very good materials for the play, because the play is more or less like a very immediate, the appreciation of very intense human relationship, conversation, the behavior, all that. You really enjoy that particular psychological drama. But in the movie, people relax and the people are more or less like eating popcorn and stuff. It's not the same. And so I think in the movie it's very difficult to transfer. But if you sit down, having this DVD, for example, watch it as a play, staged in front of your eyes, and watch each actor's acting and each stories very immediate, very close setting. You watch them, and I think you really appreciate this particular play. And I felt that way too, that wow, Father was a good play, the Father was great movie as well. And so this particular son, maybe it's not as enjoyable as the Father, the play, the movie. And so you get that particular feeling. This could be a little bit different, the storyline. The tragedy could be a little bit more moderated, more going to some other directions, possibly. Yeah, that's true too. I think as a playwright, I think you could write the play as you wished, as you wanted to write. But I think Zeller's writing is more driven to this man's inability and eventual tragedy. I think that's where you have to open your eyes of the heart to watch this particular movie, I think. So as I watched, I understand that Hugh Jackman fell in love with this particular play, and I understand he wants to play this particular father and son role there, and I really understand. I admired him. He was very good in it. And Laura Dern, as a mother who divorced from Hugh Jackman, but still plays very well mother. But I think Laura Dern's mother was kind of a sideline, kind of a weak a little bit in this particular play, because I think the father, Hugh Jackman, was the main character there, and so focused on Hugh Jackman's psychology more than the mother's psychology, I would say. And so when it's played like this, for me to watch this is very probably part of it very personal, and a part of it is more universal, a theme of this family relationship, especially father and son relationship, which is, you feel like when you went through all this difficulty and you got through that, of course you want to teach your son in the same way, that because you went through that, and so you want to teach him as a very strong, very capable person and a very successful person. You want to guide your own son to be that way. But in a mental illness arena, I think it's a little bit more difficult for one person, one man to handle. And that's, I think, the main themes there. I think those thing is that more or less like inability to deal with this particular illness. I think the father, the play is also it's about the mental illness of the father, and this is the son is about mental illness of the son, and also mental illness of probably not obvious way, but I think it's for everybody, everybody who are living in this world. It's almost like you question you're dealing with this particular situation correct, or maybe you are doing something wrong, and you try your best to love your family members, your son, your daughter, or your mother, your father. It's very, very difficult. This particular theme of mental illness is more or less like I think Florian Zeller's topics to deal with in the play. So you feel there's another play called The Mother, and I haven't read that, and I haven't seen the movie yet made for this particular play, and so I became very, very interested in his play writing. I think he has lots of other plays made, but I think mostly I think his play is it's a very like a chamber music piece type of thing, even though very, very strong connotations of the psychology is there, but I think it's more small scale production. The one thing that I really felt in this particular movie of the Sun is I think they played like an orchestra, because the background is switched to New York City, the United States, from France, and by doing so it become like an orchestra piece, because the grandiose like the New York City's tall building and great Washington DC's like a residential area, it's like wow, that's the United States. It's nothing to do with this chamber music type of Paris, France, or somewhere in the countryside of France. It's nothing to do with those. It's become tremendously American because of the Hugh Jackman suggested that he makes this particular film. I think about Hugh Jackman's career as well, just like Anthony Hopkins' career in The Father. I think Hugh Jackman's career also very, very interesting. He was, in the beginning, he was very cocky, like a musical talent. He sang and danced and act. Appeared in the Oklahoma, in the London production, and all those very flashy Broadway production. He appears in the musicals, and as well as the play, the serious play there. And so he has a very, very ambitious the lifestyle, the career as an actor, and he has been very successful. He played the Jean Valjean in the Les Mis, for example, and very successful. But also his family life and his personal life probably is reflecting on this particular the sun, the play. I think that's why he was very resonated with himself as well. And so, yeah, that's I like to yeah, add to my side notes of Hugh Jackman.